Hey everybody, this is Andrew Lee coming at you here with another video, and we have a very special guest today. We have Dalton Miller on from RetireFlo. You guys already know him. If you don't, you should, because we're gonna have a really good talk about what he's gonna present at the California Insurance Agents Group and also his expertise. Dalton, what's going on with you, man?
Andrew, I'm excited to be here today. It's nice to be amongst friends. I hate to be the person who says this, but the world needs to hear it. We are 89 business days away from the annual enrollment period. And that's sub 90. That's in my mind, I think that it's like 3 months. And good AEPs are made now, not in October and November. So I'm excited I can't wait to be at the California Insurance Agent Group Conference, July 21st. Is that right?
That's
July.
right, Monday, July 21st. Everybody, if you haven't gotten your tickets, get them now. Get them
Mhm.
now while people can still get them because I'm going to have a cutoff date at a certain point just so there's enough food for everybody and everybody's just not coming in last minute. So, Dalton, you're a LA resident now. You've had your share of a crazy year this year, right? You've gotten the full LA experience now.
I move, and the neighborhood next to me is on fire. I mean, it was horrible. And then now downtown LA is up in smoke with these riots. It is a little bit wild. While at the same time, I'm very lucky to have dodged the fires in the fall. I mean,
Yeah, I was worried about you for a second there.
it was too close. It was too close. But at the same time, I feel like I need to take this time to enjoy being here. I grew up in the state of Ohio. I'm a Buckeye. I lived the first 28 years of my life there. But despite those two things that are going on, I'm really enjoying my time out here. This is a special state, and the fact that, I don't really see snow anymore, it's a better life.
Hey
So,
man, you see
yeah,
fire now, and
yeah,
then
I
well, we
guess.
don't have snow, we have ice in downtown. So,
Yeah. That
anyways,
that was good. I mean, it's not good, but it was good.
anyways,
Uh,
getting back to topic here. Hey, I have Dalton on here because, of course, he's going to be one of our esteemed speakers at the conference. But he is the main brain behind RetireFlo. And if you guys don't know what RetireFlo is, and the reason why Dalton brought up preparing for AEP is because it's going to have a connection to each other, right? So, can you briefly describe how RetireFlo helps Medicare agents streamline and retain business during AEP?
oh my gosh, Andrew, it's my favorite subject. So, um, background on me, I come from an agency myself. Started working for my dad's Medicare agency about 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago now. We serve 25,000 beneficiaries. We're really proud to do that with a Medicare Advantage or supplement policy. But we have this problem that many agents across America face today, which is when you serve that many people, no matter how many you serve, whether it's 100 or 25,000 like we do, those folks are going to want to call and shop their plans in the fall. And there's a couple of data points that we need to know about our clients before we meet with them, whether they are T65 retiring, they're new to Medicare, or there's somebody who's wanting to shop their plan in the fall. And those things are, we must know what drugs they take, doctors they go to, hospitals, pharmacies, and then some lifestyle preferences. Do they want to pay copays when they go to the doctor? Do they want to retire in Arizona or Florida? And we have to get that scope of appointment form. And as Medicare agents, we all know this, but there is no way to collect all of that at once. And then ultimately RetireFlo is born. And so that's what we do. We offer senior friendly, mobile friendly, CMS compliant surveys for Medicare agents. We also do it for ACA and soon to do it on life. So stay tuned on that.
Oh, okay.
That's probably some news here breaking live.
Breaking news.
But it's what it's designed to do is help you mass collect this data from your book of business in advance of October 15th and the annual enrollment period. So that way you can identify which folks need to maybe change their plan and you can help them incur savings, or if their plan that they're already on is working for them well, and offer that guidance. So we have built a tool that I don't want to be, I don't want to pretend to be bashful, but I think at this point it's fair to say that we've changed the industry in the way
Yeah.
that agents are preparing for every single meeting. And so that's what RetireFlo does. You send your clients a link. It's got your picture, your logo, your headshot. It's going to look and feel like you. And they're going to share with you their drugs, doctors, hospitals, pharmacies. You achieve permission to contact, and you get assigned scope. And we do that for you in bulk. But while that's really important, that's kind of the nuts and bolts of how RetireFlo works. What I'm passionate about is AEP preparation and making sure that we use this time, these late summer months, early fall months, to get locked and loaded for AEP. Because if we can stay out in front of our book, we can communicate with our clients effectively. Less people are going to rely on a sketchy Joe Namath call center or Medicare Martha. We want people to work with agents because we believe in what they do. We are ones ourselves.
Yeah. And I mean, I would say 1 out of 2 agents now know about this, or whoever's serious about their business knows about RetireFlo. And, they're also using other tools like Connecture, right, to do enrollments if they're not going to do it with their, directly through the carrier when they do their enrollment. So what are some key features on your platform, especially regarding Connecture,
Yeah.
that agents find helpful?
Well, here's a news flash to agents out there. If you are doing your site, your enrollments on the carrier sites one at a time and running quotes one at a time, there's a better universe out there. It doesn't have to be that painstakingly difficult. Okay. You don't have to do it anymore. You don't have to go check Medicare.gov and then go run it over here on the Humana site or whatever it is. Tools like Connecture DRX, which I have my hat here. What they do is they compile the carriers that you're licensed to sell, and you have your RTS with, you're ready to sell with that carrier, and they put them all into one platform for you, basically listing, hey, here's all the carriers you're licensed with, and based on the drugs that we help you collect, the doctors, the hospitals, the pharmacies, you can run quotes against each other and then ultimately enroll those folks in those plans all in one spot. And we just teamed up with our partners at Connecture to release a brand new platform called Plan Compare Edge for agents. And what this tool does is it's got RetireFlo baked in, that data collector, to go out there and capture the data you need. And then it's FMO agnostic. So your FMOs are still going to get credit for your enrollments. So you're not going to disturb those relationships, but you can take all of your companies that you're licensed to sell and put them all in one spot. Run quotes, make sure that you can sort by affordability, by MOOP, if a certain drug is going to cost a certain dollar amount. And so what the agents who have signed up for this platform have said, and I think you're buddies with one of my buddies, Tony Merwin, I talk about a lot. You know Tony. He's another industry guy.
Very much so.
We're using this tool to collect the data, run the quotes, do the enrollments. That's 3 clicks away. It's 3 clicks away from determining. You've got Susie Senior over here who doesn't know what Part D plan is best for her, what Medicare Advantage plan is best for her, and wants to shop. You send the survey, that's click 1. All that data comes back right in where you need it. Click 2, run the quote. Click 3, enroll. Deadly. And you can tell how passionate I am about this.
Yeah.
With Part D commissions in jeopardy, and I'm going to be the harbinger of bad news here, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't anticipate Part D commissions being around for very much longer, even with the carriers.
Yeah.
Let's plan for the worst and expect and hope for the best. But planning for the worst, we're not going to get paid on these reviews anymore. And doing this and doing those enrollments, we're not going to get commission on Part D plans. And so as agents, we got to find effective solutions to go out there and shop these things that don't cost us a bunch of money, but more importantly, cost us a bunch of time. You only have so many business days between October 15th and October and December 7th. I work on weekends on those days too. Most agents out there do as well, but we got to find effective solutions. And what we have with Connecture is deadly. It is an absolute AEP weapon. I call it the AEP machine. It just came out. It's $100 a month. Your carriers, one spot, RetireFlo built in. It's a weapon, and we couldn't be more excited about it. The early feedback we've gotten is it's blowing agents' minds.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that, like, I
Oh, I know.
you're like me in that we're very in touch with agents out there, constantly listening to people, what they're saying, and I have to release a product that I got to put my name on. I'm RetireFlo is, I think, I find myself deeply associated with it, and I'm not going to deliver a product that is going to let agents down. In fact, the opposite's happening. So for folks who want to learn more about that, everybody knows how to reach me, but it truly is the best thing out this for managing the 2026, this year's AEP.
Yeah. And, of course, we're not trying to hoorah and just single out a product,
Right.
this is the reason why we're talking about this is because it's revolutionary, right?
Well, folks need
So
to know
it's
it's available to them. I mean, you got to,
yeah,
if
right,
we're taping this on June 13th, so we're 89 days away from October 15th, which is
right.
frightening. You know,
Exactly.
you
And
got
again, this makes a difference in people's businesses. I mean, again, like you said, I mean, there's steps to leading up to AEP, and some people are like, I don't know what to do in terms of organization. So this is an awesome, awesome tool. I've seen some lookalikes. I've seen some lookalikes out there. What?
wonder where they got those ideas from. Well,
Um, so I mean, how does RetireFlow sort of differ from those?
yeah. Um, the first thing and the most important thing with RetireFlo is this is your data. It's your data. I sound like the JG Wentworth commercial. It's your money. Use it when you need it. But our tool is not designed to feed somebody else's data monstrosity. In fact, it's the opposite. It's designed to empower agents with data and give it to you back in a format that you can use and run your quotes. If you still want to be one of those folks who does the carrier sites, knock yourself out. Use RetireFlow to collect that data. But I would argue, more importantly, there are free tools that are popping up out there, and that's fine. Look, whatever. But sometimes the most expensive things in life, Andrew, are free. And what I mean by that is it's great that there are free tools out there. However, we have to invest in our businesses with the best tools that exist. And the reason why RetireFlo has exploded on the market, we serve, nearly 10,000 agents across this country, and we've only been around for a year, is because it works damn well. And the reason it works so well is because we are constantly refining it and making it better, and making sure that if you're going to mass blast this out, so let's say you're an agent out there and you have 300 clients. My mission in life, in my 29-year-old life, what I think about every night when I go to bed is, if I'm going to send this to 300 people, or an agent's going to send this to 300 people, how can I get the most people to possibly respond? And when you're under the gun during the annual enrollment period, RetireFlo is your best solution. You're going to get the highest efficacy rates. You're going to get the highest delivery rates. And on top of that, your clients are going to have a professional front door experience. In many cases, Andrew, and I think you do, you're one of these folks, is before they meet with somebody new for the first time, somebody who's T65 retiring, somebody new to Medicare, not just shopping their plan in the fall, they're going to send a RetireFlo survey. And I look at that as that's like precious cargo for us. We have to make sure that we represent your business well, that we allow for white labeling so you can put your logo on it, so it doesn't feel like somebody else, it feels like you, or maybe the referral partner that you're serving. And I got to make sure that Susie Senior has a nice time with it. And in our first year of operation, we produced just short of 1 million submissions for agents across this country.
Sheesh,
So
congrats, bro.
yeah, yeah. We don't get paid per submission either. So, you know, it'd be better if we did, but we don't. It's basically 30
But it
bucks a month
works.
flat rate. But what shows is that work. And that's what we're excited about. So if you want a tool where no one's scraping your data, and you want a tool that when you send it out is going to get the most bang out of it, RetireFlow is the answer for that.
Mm, love that. Now, from your experience, so let's just say, I mean, you don't have to name any names, but
I
do you have
might.
any success stories where they've had, like, an agent has had a challenge, or like what's like the story that you have that an agent had like the biggest challenge to face during AEP, and what did you do to recommend on how they can overcome that, or how did RetireFlow come in and save the day?
Okay, two stories come to mind.
Okay.
One's a fun one. The other one. I mean, they're both fun, but one's a little more serious. I think of Debbie and Joe Bynum in Oklahoma City. I believe Joe Bynum, their husband and wife, and Joe Bynum's the primary writing agent, and Debbie helps. She's kind of operates as his assistant, office manager, runs the program, and make sure that the ships come in on time at their agency. Previously, without a tool like RetireFlow, Joe Bynum is working until midnight during AEP every night because he can't manage it. He's got all this information. Maybe he sent out mailers and expected their clients to mail something back. He sent out emails, which is not secure. All these things, and I'm not trying to punish him for that, but there was just no solution out there before. He was gone during last AEP, or AEP prior to using RetireFlow. He's gone till midnight in the office. The first year he used RetireFlow, he was home by 5 or 6 every night. And I heard from Debbie that she got to hang out with her husband during the fall, which had never happened before. So that's the kind of stories that make me excited, because we help them get prepared. We help them get this data out in advance and just had a better fall. I don't care where you live in America. The fall is a wonderful time of year. We don't have to spend it begrudgingly going through, written pieces of paper that say, I take levothyroxine. It's like, can't even read these seniors' handwritings. No offense to them, but it's the truth. So I think about them, but then I also think about a guy named Don in Ohio. I won't say his last name because he's got a pretty big book of business. He serves about 2,000 beneficiaries. He suffered the same problem my agency did. He's a sort of a solo operator. I think he's the primary writing agent, and he's got a couple of team members with him. But he sent out the RetireFlow survey for the first time on September 15th of 2023. Okay, that was a Friday. He sends this email out at 5 p.m. Email reads, "Hi folks, AEP is coming up. If you'd like to review your plan, click here, complete this short survey or intake form, whatever you want to call it." Over the weekend, the guy does nothing. He watches Ohio State beat Notre Dame, goes for a walk with his wife. I'm a Buckeye. Shows up to his office on Monday morning. 200 submissions on his page from one email. Just 2 days later, he sent that same email 4 more times, Andrew. He got 936 submissions on October 15th. 936 people he didn't have to listen to try to spell levothyroxine over the phone. That is a better life. That is a better universe. And that's a better client served. In an old universe, and Andrew, you might be able to relate to this because you've been an agent for a long time. We were kind of, I don't want to say guesstimating, but we might be running a plan review based on the drugs that somebody took 3 years ago or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, I think those are the same drugs that I took. I don't know. What do you think's best? And the problem with that is when you ultimately deliver that quote to somebody, there is no reassurance. And what I mean is that we face this with our agency when we used to have had a similar system. Too many times our clients were coming back to us and saying, how do you know? You ran a quote for me. My friend's getting free golf clubs. You're telling me I don't qualify for that? How do you know? I haven't told you about, the recent health issue that I'm facing. I've got cancer now, and I've added an oncologist specialist. Now we can confidently tell people, all right, Susie Senior, you put good in. You filled out that quick 9-question survey. You get good out. You can stay put on your plan, or maybe you can have a better life on this plan. So that's kind of the differences, and that's what we're setting out to do every day, is to help people make that determination.
Yeah. And I know you're working on, and I'm not gonna press you on what's coming up.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Right? So I'm gonna keep my lips sealed, but I know you're always on the go and you're always making moves.
Thanks.
Important moves at that too. Pretty big time moves. I mean, let's just call it spade a spade.
I
Um,
appreciate that.
so with client retention, what is so does it connect just only with Connector, or can you do it with other CRMs, or
Yeah.
where else can you connect your RetireFlow with?
So that's a great question. First of all, RetireFlow works awesome with whatever CRM that you use. So our goal is to deliver this data to enrollment platforms. That's our goal, because we want people to use it to ultimately do the enrollment. That's our kind of our number one focus. So as you look forward to this year, I think you can anticipate that from us. And I won't say more on that. But from a CRM perspective, you can take the data, and that's kind of the cool thing about the data on RetireFlow. It's yours and only yours. We can't see it. We don't want to see it, but you can export it into a beautiful CSV or Excel file and upload it right into your CRM. You determine, okay, maybe I want to make sure that my addresses are updated or my phone numbers are updated. You can mass upload this stuff into any CRM, and you can do it. We always recommend what to folks do is they use RetireFlow throughout AEP, collect the data, put it in their enrollment platform, run their quotes, do the enrollments, and then on December 8th, after they've collected all of this data, upload it right into the CRM that you utilize. But we have a couple of more formal integrations coming in that universe. But I gotta save some surprises for the California conference. So, but the thing is today you can integrate RetireFlow with any CRM. You take that link that we give you, you mass blast it out, and then after you've collected all your data, you upload it in. And for those folks who are wanting something even a little bit more automated than that, which is hard work on our end, you can anticipate that from us coming this year. So we're excited about it.
Gotcha. So, I mean, over the next few years, I mean, I'm not talking about what's sort of in the works. For a Medicare agent that wants to keep their customers in a tight situation where, they're not just switching. I mean, what trends do you see in the industry in the next years that is going to particularly happen during open enrollment, and just anything you see like that.
I was hoping you'd ask me this question because this is my
Okay.
favorite subject. If you don't talk to your clients, they will leave you, period. If you are not in front of them or top of mind, they will leave you. And what that means from a Medicare agent's perspective is you need to constantly be communicating with them via email, via text message, via Facebook, online, whatever. The biggest mistake that I see Medicare agents make is they fear the enrollment. They fear the meeting. And what I mean by this is they're sitting in front of a client that they're so proud to get. Maybe they bought a lead, maybe they got a referral, which I would argue is the best lead is a referral. Or they're working with a wealth manager, somebody who's retiring from a company, whoever it is, and they go, I've got this. I finally get this person in my office. I just want to focus on getting the enrollment done, and then I don't want to scare them. I don't want to bother them. That's the wrong attitude. And that's how you get beat in this industry. You should be constantly be communicating with your clients. Email, and there's so many great solutions out there to do it, whether it's through your CRM, whether it's through a tool like Constant Contact or MailChimp or whatever, campaign monitors out there, whatever. But if you're not top of mind, if people in the fall, when they want to shop their plan, because that's what the TV commercials are telling them to do, they don't think of you first, you're in hot water. And so the best thing that you can do is get over that fear and start communicating with your clients. But the good news is, Andrew, and you know this, because you do a really, really nice job of it, is you don't have to overdo it. Okay. We don't want an Edgar Allan Poe, Homer level, Iliad and the Odyssey article on the way that MOOP is changing. Seniors don't care about that. Seniors want to know that you're out there existing, doing things in their community. If you go to a local fair or festival or parade or whatever it is, if there's something in your community that you went to, I think of in the state of Ohio, I think of the Jackson County Apple Festival. Okay. It sounds kind of folksy, but that thing does numbers, and it is the place to be in September. Okay. If you're going to the Jackson County Apple Festival, take a picture of you and your family and send an email and say, hey, just a life update. We went to the Jackson County Apple Festival. It was so great. We saw so many of our clients there and friends. The annual enrollment period's coming up. Give us a call if you need assistance. Or maybe there's a small change to what's going on in the industry and you want to let people know. Short, sweet, to the point. Seniors aren't reading things from top to bottom in mass. You've got your well-educated folks who want to get into the nitty-gritty about plan information. But the best thing that you can do is just talk to people about what you're up to. You got somebody's birthday in your office, send out an email. Reply to this email if you want to wish Andrew a happy birthday. There's a million reasons to communicate with your clients. But if you don't, someone will. And that's my call to action for people out there. While it's important for us to help you prepare and get the data that you need, I think if you're a Medicare agent, retention pays more than new sales. So find ways to be constantly talking to your clients, even if it's little and seems unimportant. It is. It couldn't be more important. Actually, I'm gonna turn that on you. Andrew, how do you communicate with your folks? I mean, what are you doing to talk to people?
Just to piggyback off of what you said, with marketing, let's say, again, email marketing. So I do love that idea. I love the simple video. Some of my peers have, everybody can see each other's ads now, essentially.
Right.
So I've seen some of my peers, and I'm like, this is really straight to the point, but it's not flashy. My thought process before was you got to make this flashy. It has to be like, boom, Alex Hermosi, like Grant Cardone style. No, it's the ones that are just, hey, I'm a Medicare agent, and I'm actually right behind this, Lake Louise or wherever they were at. And it's just we're just having fun with our family here. Anyways, I just wanted to talk to you about just preparation for Medicare coming up because, there is that season where you will start getting those calls. And we just wanted to make sure that you're taken care of. Just a very simple kind of message. That definitely works wonders. I 1000% agree with you on that. Instead of flashiness here, too much sensory overload and information there. Seniors aren't going to gravitate towards that, right? Save that for the call, save that for the appointment, save that for the booth, save that for the office visit, right?
Yes, that's when that's appropriate. The rest of the year, just tell people about what you're up to. It's that simple because people have to be thinking about you. If they're not, then you're in trouble. They're more susceptible from taking a call from an insurance carrier who's trying to move them over to a captive, or these sketchy call centers that are out there. There are good call centers, but there are sketchy ones too who are
absolutely
hammering people. But if they know, oh, well, I don't need to take this call. I was just reminded of how great my agent Andrew Lee is, or agent so-and-so. I just read a nice email from him about what he's doing with his family or what he's up to at the office. I'm not taking that call. I'm just not going to do it, you know? And so there's a little bit of a psychological game with these beneficiaries is I think it's just staying top of mind. And so
Absolutely.
in the bad actors in this industry, the people who are trying to peel your clients away, people who are trying to steal clients from independent brokers are going to get slicker and they're going to get smarter and better. Even as regulations come in, people will find another way.
Yeah.
It'll happen. So the best thing you can do is just stay on touch. Just talk to your people. Hope for
Yeah,
the
and these call centers tend to pump and dump anyway, so why not just stay top of mind, personalize, and that's basically what this does, right? It personalizes you as the agent. Even if you're a huge agency with 10,000 clients, I mean, you still have a brand that you can still keep organic or keep, sort of simple, keep, to the point. So, I definitely agree with that. And I want to respect your time here,
yeah.
Dalton, because I know you got 10 billion things that you're doing. But if an agent, let's say, if an agent can implement one recommendation,
Ooh.
or if you can recommend an agent one recommendation to improve their AEP results, what would you suggest?
Okay. Well, I'm mandatorily obligated to say this, but use RetireFlo. No brainer. It's $30 a month in most cases, unlimited sends, unlimited submissions to get the data that you need in advance of October 15th. I have to say that. On top of that, on top of that, um, I would, to have a better AEP, use RetireFlo, but I would act like AEP begins on August 1st. That would be my solution to everybody is that's when the game begins. And nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that. October 15th through December 7th is a terrible time of year for Medicare agents. Okay. It's hard. It's complicated. People misunderstand products and the beneficiaries oftentimes are blowing up your phones. It's the reality. Okay. So get prepared for it by setting August 1st and build a game plan. Whatever works for you, whatever enrollment tools you use, how am I going to use RetireFlo this year? Is my Calendly set up? Treat August 1st like day one. And when build a plan, and then here's the second part of it is stick with it. And that's harder. I would tell you it's harder than building the plan because when the floodgates open and the calls are coming in and you're stressed out and your rock star assistant gets the flu on October 21st, you're like, what the walls are coming in on you like Star Wars trash compactor. That's when the game plan matters the most. And so, build that now, institute it August 1st, collect that data, use tools like RetireFlo to do it. And then when October 15th comes around, stick to the game plan, please. Because when you leave it, that's when you're going to make a mistake and you look back on December 8th and be like, oh, I left this idea that I had and now AEP didn't turn out the way that I thought it did. Now, if this is kind of your first year game planning AEP, like it's the Super Bowl, like I suggest, you might make a mistake. Hey, it's okay. Now you know for next year. Guess what? Seniors are going to call you in 2026 and they're going to call you in 2027. And as much as it makes me grimace to think that, it's the reality. And so, I think a great place to start, and for those of you who are tuning into this, is go to this conference. I have an hour or a half hour, however much Andrew gives me. He can tell that I would go for two if he gave it to me. But there's people talking about what their game plans are. Ask other agents, but come on July 21st. I'll be there. I'd love to personally meet you. I got nothing going on. Beforehand, and we'd love to sit down with you and talk about, what our game plan is as an agency, what we recommend, but treat it like it's the Super Bowl that it is. Because if you get caught with your pants down on October 1st or October 15th, you're going to get smoked by somebody who who did the preparation work. So that would be my call to action.
That's a good point because why do injuries happen in sports? Because you
Yes.
miss training camp,
In
right?
stretch, you missed training camp. You weren't in the gym when it mattered. And,
Right,
I don't want to be like icky motivational, like you're going to have the best AEP of your life. But I
right.
can guarantee you, there's two universes, and you've got an agent who treats August 1st like the beginning of Super Bowl season, beginning of playoffs, and has an organized game plan for how they're going to manage their AEP. And then there's an agent who just kind of wings it. Who's going to have the better AEP?
Mm,
Agent one over agent two. I take that bet any day. Um,
absolutely.
and if you're tuning into this, I think Andrew's going to tag me on Facebook and all those things, tag me on YouTube, but like reach out to us. This is what I'm passionate about. If you're like, I want that game plan. I got solutions for you, and many of them are free. RetireFlo is what I would suggest you use, and there's a reason why like 10,000 agents across America love us. But regardless, I'd love to talk to you about your AEP game plan. So I'm here. I'm a resource trainer.
Awesome. 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 Yeah. And I'm excited for you too. And as RetireFlow grows, I think it's a pretty big, value add to the industry. Again, my group, I don't allow advertising. I don't allow any, spam. I don't allow like recruiting, too much. But this is just, if I believe in something, you're there for a reason and hence why you're going
Thank
to be
you.
speaking at the California Insurance Agents Conference. Again, guys, get your tickets now. We're closing in here pretty soon here. It's coming up, right? We were talking about it in April, and all of a sudden here we are in mid-June. And you know what? For a lot of agents, I mean, well, not a lot, but for us, we're getting ready for AEP right
Yes.
now. Just to
Yeah.
be, we're super paranoid. That's just what I am, right? The paranoid survive,
Let
unfortunately.
our
So
let our
that's why.
paranoia inspire you on July 21st. You know,
We're just gonna keep. Yeah.
yeah, learn from Andrew and I's psychopathy and show up on July 21st. I guarantee you, there's an agent who goes to this conference, there's an agent who doesn't. The person who goes to this conference is going to have a better AP. They're going to walk away with something cool, a
Absolutely.
new idea that they didn't have before. And, how much are tickets, Andrew? How much are tickets right now?
It's $97. It's at the state. Well, we're right in front of
No
the
brainer.
crypto.com arena at Staples Center. And
Can't
it's going to
wait.
be at the East Central Hotel, which is it's a pretty cool venue. We're overlooking the Grammy Museum, we're overlooking crypto, and then we're going to have a happy hour as well too on the patio where you can see all of this in prime downtown LA. Hopefully, the cool
It's gonna
part
be fine
about
by then. It'll be fine.
yeah, the cool part about what's happening now, I mean, nothing's cool about it, but it's probably going to be over by the time. And so that's like the perfect time to come because now the smoke is cleared, everything is all good. So by that time, it's going to be prime summer. And summer in LA is a thing. It's a thing. It's really a
There's
thing.
nothing better. This will be my first one. I can't wait.
Ooh. Yeah.
Remind me, who else? We got Galen,
We got Galen
Queen of the
Hendricks,
Bundle. She rocks.
Eric Fierro, we
Uh,
got Christian Brindle.
like with these people, and Andrew included, you're going to walk away from this conference with something that you didn't have before. Some reason that your life's going to be better for $97. No brainer. I want to hang out. So be there or be lame.
I mean, how else can you say it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I appreciate your time. This is a fun talk, and a lot of agents, are struggling with this. I mean, realistically, there is a need for this, right? A lot of people are like, okay, I'm scrambling, I'm doing more intake during open enrollment or annual election period. I'm doing more intake than sales, whereas it could just be done for you, right? Automated and
Yes.
sent out in one, one weekend of
One email. I mean,
emails, right?
you heard you're the guy Don. You sent one email, I got 200 submissions. I mean, like you send three emails between August 1st and October 15th. I think you should just keep going until you get everybody.
Yeah.
You peel them off. Okay, I got somebody, take them off the list. But you're gonna show up more prepared than you ever have been. And for literally $30 because you get the Andrew Lee discount. If you want an
Let's
enrollment tool,
go.
you have a tool, costs $100. That's no brainer stuff. These are small investments that have a humongous impact on your mental sanity.
Yeah.
Next time you're listening to your client try to spell lisinopril over the phone, RetireFlo could have helped you collect that in advance. And I could have done it as well alongside all of our partners. So,
Yeah.
man, you rock, man. Thank you.
Yeah, interface is smooth. I like your style. Again, it is a need for the industry. So, Dalton, I appreciate you hopping on here, and I know that you're saving the good stuff for later for the conference.
I got
So,
some stuff coming. I got some
I
stuff
know
coming.
you do.
Wait. We cannot wait.
I
Um,
know you do. I'm not,
I,
we're, you
I'm
know,
obsessed with this, Andrew. Remind me, how old of a guy are you, Andrew? How old are you?
what am I, 30? I'm about to be 35. Yeah.
Okay, so we're similar ages. Okay, young people, we're obsessed with making things better for agents. I am literally relentlessly thinking about this. I couldn't encourage you more to use this time to prepare for AEP. So
Yeah.
I'll be there on July 21st. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. It'll be awesome.
It's gonna be a good time. Well, again, thanks for hopping on, Dalton. And if you guys have any questions for Dalton, Dalton, where can we find you?
You can find me on, if you go to retireflow.com, LO.com, no W. There's a big button that says set up a demo. You're either going to meet with me or my brother. We can talk about your AEP strategy. We can show you how RetireFlow works. You can meet with us whenever you want. I do meetings up until 7 p.m. every night.
There you
So
go.
it's game on.
There you
89 days
go.
from AEP. Let's go.
Let's get it. Let's get it. And he's also on our Facebook on our California Insurance Agents group as well too. So if you feel like, this resonated with you, of course, shoot him a DM. Won't hurt to do that either. But again, Dalton, appreciate your time, buddy. And I will see you at the conference. Super stoked to see you do your thing. And everybody that's watching, if you found value in this, please like and subscribe. And we're gonna have more, more news about this, more updates on how to simplify your life and your business. And with that, I bid you guys adieu. I'll see you at the next video. Take care. Thanks.